Alright, so this is why it pays to pay attention to the key information in tutorials and not just the actions of the tutorial. So I was watching the Harvard Python CS50, and one of the things he uses from the very beginning is the elif statement. I've never used it before, and I just looked at it, and it looks like it's the perfect use case for what I'm trying to do. Let's see if it works. Well, it didn't crash, so... and I didn't set it up right. Alright. So if I wrote my code right, this, because it's bigger than 2, will shrink quickly, and then as soon as it gets down to 2 or equal to 2, it will stop shrinking, and hopefully the other function will take over and it will shrink faster. And there we go. Shrinks faster. Alright. So I'm going to have to get that dialed in. Oh, nice. Oh, it's the morning. Still feel like I'm wasting my time. It was the same problem I had with physical art. What's the point? At least with this, I can push through. This is kind of what I got. Alright, so my current iteration is you have to collect the ingredients in the container. Your marble that refines the ingredients is slowly getting smaller. There's a hole in the bottom, but eventually that marble will fall through and you won't be able to find anything else. As well as holes around the outside that you'll eventually be able to fall through. So ingredients will increase your time that you're big, as well as give you different scores for elixir. So I don't know, I'm still working through it. I think that's much more, I think there's more to do. It's more fun than just obstacles, because you couldn't really, it was random. It was too random. You're just throwing a ball in a funnel and watching what happened. That's not fun after like the first time, unless like you're adding enough modifiers. And I don't know how to code in the modifiers. So this way you can code in the things that drop in and your ability to try to get them, which means it's more about you doing a thing than me coding a thing. So the I don't know, I gotta think about the next thing to do. Alright, so I've been working on this project And I've come to the realization that what I had or what I was working on just wasn't fun. So this is basically what I have. All the things connect. They fall into the whole. This is great. You can populate a bunch of ingredients that go from large to small. When they get small, they rain down through the opening, and you can't collect them anymore. And the game's over. Yay. So that works. The thing that doesn't work is the central ball disappears, for one, but I need that to stay big as everything gets smaller so that it can attack everything else in there. And I'm just going to put it on a basic character controller that goes around, and when it runs into things, it attacks them, moves them, pushes them out of the way, and gives it a I can't think. Just attacks it, and then you get points. So that's where I'm at. And the reason I'm doing this is it's not fun. What I had before, the tension between what you could do by moving the level and moving everything around, and it just wasn't enough there. You didn't have enough decision making chances in that space, and because you weren't making enough decisions to do stuff, you didn't have anything to do. You were watching a simulation play, but there wasn't any inputs for the simulation. And I don't know enough programming right now to be able to program those kind of inputs where they're dynamic and they make fun changes and have exciting effects. So I'm going to simplify so I can get something done, because I need this to be done, because once this is all done, then I just have to do the narrative. I mean, this is the other majority of the game. So figuring this out is going to be kind of fun, but I just, as much as I like the original idea for my original game idea, I think for this jam it just does not work. So alright, so I just want to give a quick little game jam update. Past day or so, just been trying to get stuff done, working on it, and I got to a point where I realized that what I was working on it wasn't fun. And I think the reason why it wasn't fun is because I was learning how to do all these things and access all these things, but the things that they were doing, there was no input from the player, there's no tension, there wasn't really anything there. After realizing that, I decided I should just, instead of trying to do all these things that I think I might be able to do, I need to pick something that I can do that's still as close to the theme as I can get, so I can just get something done so I can keep working on the next steps. And so I went back and started basically from scratch again. And now, same thing, except square because it's easier on the rigid body collisions, and then a character, and it's just the regular physics, but you move it or rotate it with the mouse. So there's this weird control thing, but it's not too hard to control. The other thing is I can't have them reducing in scale. The detection didn't work too good when I did that. So it also doesn't delete them fast. Like, the detection seems to take a little bit of time. But I have something. So now I can start to work on multiple different enemy types that will delete out after various different hits. And then getting them in the thing. So I'm gonna keep working on it until I have something that does stuff, so that when you kill certain things, you get different rewards, so that there's some variety. And then and I'll hook everything else up so that there's a narrative in a game, start and finish. But if I had unlimited time, I could work on the various systems and kind of tweak them till they were in a working state. But with just a week, I tried it. It didn't quite work. I mean, and even the stuff that worked, like I said, it wasn't fun. It wasn't interesting, and I don't have time to work on it to try to figure out ways to make it more interesting. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing, and that's it for me.